everyone, thank you for watching this video. Today I'm going to be taking you through a lovely little Friday Pilates. So you won't need any equipment for this one. It is probably a mild to moderate class, so it shouldn't be too intense. There is a little bit of work on the wrists, so remember, if you do experience any discomfort through the wrists at any time, just stop for a moment and give them a little roll out. Now I'm going to be starting down on the mat and then I'm going to be coming up to standing. We've lost her already. So if you are ready to join me, you won't need any equipment, no pillows or anything, just your floor space and you. So starting off, we're going to be into a mermaid pose. So exactly like what I'm doing here, I've got one leg that is parallel with the mat in front of me and my other knee is bent so that my foot is back behind me. Now, for some of you, I've demonstrated that you can do this seated up on top of a chair if you don't quite have the hip range. Alternatively, just sitting however you can in the most comfortable configuration so that we can bend from side to side. So starting off, I'm going to take one arm right up overhead and I'm going to twist and rotate down towards the mat, sliding my arms all the way by my side. Then I'm going to come all the way back up, taking this arm right up overhead and taking this other arm up towards the ceiling. Now here, I'm anchoring down through my hip and I'm feeling a really nice stretch alongside my body. Then I'm going to come all the way back over, windmilling this arm right up overhead, twisting and rotating and sliding along so I get a really nice stretch right through this side of my body. Then I'm going to come back up and taking this arm all the way up overhead. Last time, stretching all the way over this way. Oh, so good. Switching sides, so my legs just switch orientation there. Get my phone out of the way. And then I'm going to take this arm now all the way up overhead. I twist and rotate and I stretch all the way down to the side, feeling a really nice stretch through the sides of my body. I come all the way back in and then I'm going to bring my other arm all the way up overhead, feeling a really nice stretch down this side of the body now. Coming all the way back over. All the way over in a nice long stretch, sliding my arms right down and then coming all the way back up. So we're just bringing some warmth into our little spinal stabilizers, making our back feel lovely for our whole Pilates session. Okay, beautiful. From here, coming into an all fours position. I might need to change these camera angles a few times as well while I'm doing this. But starting off on your hands and knees. Now, if this is uncomfortable in your hands already, you can do this whole little series down on your elbows. But starting off, if you can, up on your hands and knees. Now, you'll see here my knees are directly underneath my hips or a little further backwards, not underneath the belly button. So making sure knees are under hips, hands are underneath shoulders. From here, I'm going to arch my back right up towards the ceiling, looking back towards my belly button. And then I'm going to arch my back through the other way, keeping my head as a continuation of my spine, not letting my head arch and my neck take too much pressure. So I'm just looking directly in front and I'm feeling a nice stretch through my tummy muscles, I suppose. Arching your back all the way up towards the ceiling, so making a nice cat shape. And then moving into the cow part of the exercise, arching my back through the other way. So we'll go one more each way. Arching my back all the way up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, coming all the way back through the other way. Okay, from here, find a neutral spine and just going into a little tail wag. I love how almost everyone knows what I mean when I say wag your tail. It's very cute. Everyone knows how to be a happy little dog. Okay, from here we're going to bring on a little bit more intensity. So I'm going to take this movement very gently. So for those of you that do need to go down to the wrists, that's absolutely fine. However, I'm going to demonstrate up on my hands. With this series now, I'm tucking my toes, and what I'm going to do is just gently lift my knees just off the ground and lower back down. So what you can imagine doing is that you've got a little coffee cup or a little cup of takeaway coffee, because it's all we're allowed to have at the moment, lifting your knees off the ground and lowering back down without spilling that coffee cup that is sitting just on your sacrum there. So coffee cup is fresh and ready-made, nice and hot, and you're lifting your knees off the ground and lowering back down. Now, an important thing to remember here is that your head should not drop. So try not to let your head get floppy. Lift your head up so that it's in line with your spine. Your chest is proud, you lift your knees off the ground and you lower them back down. Lifting the knees off the ground and lower back down. We're going to do 5 more here. Lifting your knees off the ground, pressing through 3 points of contact on your hands, so not just on the wrist, but your fingertips are spread out, bearing the weight as well. Lift and lower, let's do 3 more here. Engaging through your little triceps, through the core, and head is in line with the spine. Let's do 2 more because I've lost count. Lifting your knees off the ground and lower back down. And then one last one here, lifting your knees off the ground and lower back down. Now, I like to really jazz up this next one. I'm going to give you the easier option first of all, and the easier option is this. Extending left leg, right arm straight out in front and hold. And then lower back down and we alternate. Now I'm going left arm, right leg into extension and then lower back down. So we're alternating opposite and making sure that you can maintain that stillness through the imaginary coffee cup on your lower back, keeping it completely still as you alternate the extension of the opposite arm and leg. Now, here's the little jazzy part. If you want more of a challenge, hover your knees and extend opposite arm and leg and place them down. Keep hovering those knees, opposite arm and leg, and place them down. Woo! And this should really get things nice and spicy because this is tough. So knees hovering, opposite arm and leg. Knees stay hovering, opposite arm and leg. Otherwise, knees are down on the ground, opposite arm and leg. I've definitely gone bright red with this one. So opposite arm and leg alternating. Or you can hover your knees and we've got 1 more on each side. Woo! And resting there. Beautiful. Sitting right back into a long child's pose. So with this child's pose here, I turn my knees outwards a little bit. I keep my arms reaching straight out in front and I sit my hips right back towards my heels. For an extra little stretch here, you can take your left hand on top of your right hand and then shift your left hip over to the side to get a really nice long stretch through that left side of your body. And then doing the same on the other side, so return your left hand over to the left, take your right hand on top of the left hand, and shift your hips right over towards the right side of the room, so you get a really nice stretch through the right side of the body. Oh, that should feel wonderful. Really good work. Okay, from here we are going to go into tricep presses. So if you do need a little break on those wrists, you can alternatively hold a plank now on your elbows. So rather than loading up the wrists, you can keep your knees on the mat, draw your belly button into your spine, and keep those shoulders directly over the elbows and hold that position. But if your wrists are feeling okay, we're going to come right up into tricep push-ups. So for this movement here, to make it a little bit easier, you can bring your knees right in underneath you. So this is the easiest option that I will offer. And with this exercise then, you bring your chest forwards towards your fingertips and push away. That's the easiest option. However, if you would like to challenge yourself a little more, take your knees even further away and then spreading your fingertips out, spiral or corkscrew those elbows back behind you so that you're keeping your upper arms tucked in close to the side of your body, and then bring your chest forwards, right down in between the hands and then push away. So chest comes forward in between the hands and push all the way back up. So we're really trying to target these muscles on the backs of the arms. So again, I'll just reiterate, you can have those knees in close and do nice, still challenging, but a little bit more gentle tricep push-ups, or come back and challenge yourself a little bit more with me here. Knees are a little bit further back, belly button's drawn into spine, and making sure that your head is a continuation of your spine and it's not dropping towards the floor. So shift your chest forward. Corkscrew those elbows back behind you and tuck those arms in close. As if you're doing your push-ups on the train, a really crowded train, you don't want to run into anyone else. The analogies are getting weirder. It's day 3 of lockdown. Tuck those elbows in close. Lowering your chest down towards the floor and push away. Let's go for 5 more here. Lower chest to floor and push away. And 4, chest to floor and push away. Let's go for 3. Push to the floor, push away. And 2 more, chest to floor and push away. And we'll go for 1 more here. Nice and slow and controlled, chest to floor and push all the way back up. Oh, now you can give those wrists a really good rollout. Now this is where it gets a lot more fun. So again, we are loading the wrists a little bit with this one, but I will show you that you can also do it down on your elbow. Fortunately, that makes it a little bit more challenging for the abs. So choose or pick your poison. So for this one here, I'm going to start with my right hand down on the mat. I might just move my mat backwards a little so that you can still see me easily. Here we go. Okay, so with this movement, I'm starting with one knee on the mat and one hand on the mat. So my right knee and right hand are on the mat, and then I'm going to straighten my left leg out and turn my body to face the wall opposite me here. So I'm on my side. Then from here, I'm going to simply hold onto my hip with my left hand, and I'm going to lift my left leg up and lower it back down. And I lift my left leg up and I lower back down. Now you can have a little bit of movement through the lower hip, but we're focusing on squeezing through the side of our body to lift this long leg up towards the ceiling and lower it back down. Now, if that's too much on the wrist, you can lower down to your elbow here. Although that makes it a lot more intense through the abdominals. So choosing your adventure with this one, whatever feels best for your body today. But I'm going to come back up to that hand and I'm going to lift and lower. Now, if you're anything like me, you're going to start feeling your bottom hip working a little bit here too, because it's stabilizing. We go for 4, lifting and lowering, and 3, woo, warming up the whole body, 2, and on this last one, we lift up and hold. I'm going to take my top arm, my left arm here, and then I'm going to pull my knee towards that elbow and then extend all the way back out long. And pull the knee all the way to the elbow and extend all the way back out long. You've got 5 more. Take a rest if you need to. Stay long and lifted through the supporting arm. And 4, and extend long. And 3, trying to crinkle up through the side of your shirt. And 2, pull that knee towards the elbow. And 1, and then we reach all the way back out long and hold. And then we rest there. Oh my goodness, let's just power through the next side before we even give our body a chance to think about it. So make sure that you turn around so you're not doing the same side again. So I turn around and so I'm facing the same wall again. I'm going to bring my left hand down now and I'm going to balance on my left knee here. So my left knee and left hand are right in the same line. Then I straighten my right leg out long, drawing my belly button into my spine, maintaining the length through the side of my body and keeping my head not flopping, but as an extension of my spine. Now from here, my right hand holds on to my right hip and I'm going to lift my right leg up off the ground and then lower it back down. Lifting my right leg up in line with my right hip and I lower it back down. So it's a nice long lift and lower. So we're going around about 8 to 10 reps, but you should try and stay balancing as best you can. Lifting that leg up and lowering back down. And lifting up and lowering back down. Draw your belly button into your spine. Make sure that your head is free and in line with your spine so it's not dropping and it's not holding too much tension. Okay, let's go 1 more here, lift up and hold. Now I take my right hand and I reach it all the way overhead and then I pull my right elbow to my right knee and I reach it out long and straight and pull elbow to knee and reach out long and straight. Crinkle through the side of your shirt and then reach long and straight. You should be feeling your left butt cheek now if that's the one on the ground. Woo, let's go for 4. Pull elbow to knee and extend out long. And 3, elbow to knee and extend out long. And 2, elbow to knee, reach out long. Let's go 1 more. Elbow to knee, pull, pull, pull. And extend out long and resting there. Okay, those poor little arms get a really nice break now. So just get some nice movement through your elbows, shaking your wrists around a little bit. Oh, that should have been quite exhausting through there. What do I program next? Okay, now we are going to go lying down on our back. Last little bit on our back, so enjoy this nice little part. Now, for some of you that have a little bit of instability through their SIJ or you tend to get a bit of back pain, you can have a nice rolled up towel just underneath your bottom here and that should support your pelvis a little bit more. Otherwise, coming down with me onto the mat, your heels should be just out of reach of your fingertips. So shoulders are back and down, Nice length through those arms so you're keeping your shoulders down, your chest is proud, and melt those shoulder blades into the ground. And from here, just a couple of glute bridges because they're such a good exercise. Keeping your feet in contact with the ground, so not lifting your toes up in the air. We lift our hips up towards the ceiling and lower back down. And if you want to feel a nice little stretch through the rest of the body, you can take the arms into a flow with you. So as you lift your hips up towards the ceiling, reach the arms up overhead, and then lower everything back down together, and we'll do 2 more. As hips lift up towards the ceiling, reaching the arms out straight overhead, feeling a nice stretch through the whole body, and lower down, and let's do 1 more here. Hips to ceiling, reaching all the way overhead, and lower all the way back down. Okay, going into the ab work now. I find my hip bones and I walk my fingertips in about 1 inch on each side. So here I should feel nice relaxed abdominals because I haven't braced them hard yet for the exercise. So with fingertips 1 inch inwards of your hip bones, I want you to exhale all the way out. As you feel the tension start to build underneath your fingertips, you're going to bring your legs up into a tabletop position. So I'll demonstrate once and then you can come and join me the second time. So I'm breathing in through my nose to prepare, and then breathing out through a straw. I bring my legs up to a tabletop position and my tummy stays nice and strong and doesn't jolt as I bring my legs up. So coming with me this time. Breathing in through the nose and then breathing out, and as you start to feel that tension come underneath those fingertips, you bring those legs up to a tabletop position. Now from here, I'm going to leave my hands on the ground. I want you to imagine that I've popped a nice little fresh blueberry underneath your lower back. And what you're going to do is gently tilt your tailbone to squish that blueberry, and then you're going to return the legs to a tabletop position. So exhale, scoop and squish that blueberry. Inhale to return to that tabletop position. So we're going to make our way through the whole punnet. Little squish and return to tabletop. Maintaining the length through the back of the neck and return to tabletop. Now with every little squish of that blueberry or raspberry, you choose your own little berry that you want to squish, make sure that you are maintaining the length through the back of your neck, your head is staying relaxed, and you are feeling those lower abdominals engaged. So we exhale as we curl, and we inhale to return. And exhale to curl, and inhale to return. We'll go for 4 more. Exhale to curl, inhale to return. And 3, exhale to curl, inhale to return. And 2, and one last one here. Now you can rest for a moment if you need to, otherwise if you're up for it, opening the arms out to a capital T, and from here we rock the knees over one way and then rock the knees over the other way. Now the goal here is to keep both shoulders on the ground, so you might find that you can go all the way over to one side and all the way over to the other side easily. But if you don't quite have that range, just stay with a nice little rock, just going from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Not going too far, and that's absolutely fine. We'll stay here for 15 more seconds, just getting some lovely movement through that lower back. We'll go for 4 and 3 and 2 and last one there. Beautiful. Hug your knees all the way to the chest if that feels okay. Then we're going to go into a nice little hamstring stretch. So straighten out your right leg first, holding onto your left hamstring, and we're just going to go into a few little bends and extends through that left leg. So point the toes as you lower, flex the foot and push the heel to the ceiling. Flex the toes, lower that leg back down, flex the foot and bring that leg up towards the ceiling, and that should be such a good stretch through the back of that leg. Then we switch places. So now I'm holding onto my right hamstring, point the toes lower down, flex the foot straight into the ceiling. Point the toes lower down, flex the foot, extend to the ceiling, and one more. Point the toes lower down, flex the foot and extend to the ceiling. And I'm sorry if you thought it was over, but that was just preparing the legs now for a little bit of lunging. So I'm going to move my camera. It's the last little bit, I promise. It's all lovely after this. So, setting yourself up right on top of your mat, and make sure you've got a little bit of room behind you. No crinkles in your mat. I'm going to start with taking my right leg back behind me with my left leg forwards. So we're starting with step back lunges. So beginning on my right foot, and I'm going to step my right leg back behind me, sinking down into a lunge, and then stepping back together. Right leg steps back, lunge down, and step back together. Right leg steps down, lunging back, and then step the legs back together. Now you can take this as gently as you need to. You can simply do long steps back and stepping back together if that's a bit more comfortable. Otherwise, challenge yourself to come into nice long step back lunges with me. Long step back and stepping back together. We do one more and then we're going into a little challenge. So now I'm going to step my right leg back and hold. I reach my arm straight out in front, balancing at the same time. And then I'm going to pull my knee in and tap my right leg back. So I'm on my left leg, arms long and reaching. Pull the right knee in, step back. And moving as quickly as you like because we're getting our heart rate up for the rest of the day. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, and there's a surprise at the end of this. 6, 5, 4, 3, stay low as if there's a low ceiling over your head, and 1. Then we balance on that left leg. Right leg is back behind, and that little takeaway coffee is back there on the sacrum. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. Finishing off, we've got the right leg to go. So, balancing on the right leg now. Left leg steps back into a lunge and then step back together. Left leg lunges back, step back together. Long lunge back, step together. Long lunge back and step together. Now your knee does not have to touch the mat. It can simply be a nice long step without a long lunge. Choose your own little adventure this morning. Long step back and stepping back together. And let's do one more and then we go into that knee repeater. So, long step back with the left leg. Right leg is in front, knee is softened and over the top of the ankle. Reach the arms out long and straight in front, and then we're going to pull that left knee in, elbows pull back, and we go knee repeater. 13, 12, 11, 10, getting that heart rate up. Knee pulls in as elbows pull back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then balance on that right leg. Left leg goes back behind you, reach the arms forward. We go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic work. Time to stretch. So slowly I'm going to bring my fingertips all the way down towards my toes, and I hang out here for a moment. I'll do a little side on. Fingertips all the way down towards toes, belly button draws into spine, lengthen through the spine. Then I'm going to bring my palms to my shins, flattening out through the back and feeling a really nice stretch through the hamstrings. Then I'm going to lower all the way back down to my toes one last time and gently roll up, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Once your head is over the top of your spine, reach those arms all the way up and around towards the ceiling, pressing your fingertips to the ceiling and coming up onto your toes. See if you can stay on your toes just for a minute. And then bring those arms all the way down and around to your sides. Now, one extra thing that I should add in, if you want to challenge yourself today with a couple of exercises, coming up onto your toes and lowering down. So double leg calf raises are always a good thing to do. And you can do them at any time and no one will question you. They'll just probably be envious and want to start doing what you're doing because you'll have amazing strong calves and great balance. And if that's easy, you can challenge yourself to going into single leg calf raises. These are a lot harder. So see if you can challenge yourself with some single leg calf raises today. A couple on each side will not do any harm, as long as you've got something nearby to catch you. Thank you all for joining me with some Friday Pilates, and I hope to see you all next week if this lockdown finally finishes. Thank you, bye.